Welcome, self-educated entrepreneur. Hey, I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about the trucking industry. I'm keeping an eye on it as, there's that bad boy over there. So we're in Lexington, Kentucky tonight. But right now, this is my main source of income until my businesses ramp up more. Yeah, go figure. Start businesses right during a contractional economic downturn. But we're going to press forward with it. I'm not giving up. But I've been looking at freight waves, and definitely that's what I'm seeing. There's a lot of contraction in the logistics industry. That is, there is companies. I looked at Martin and JB Hunt, and their intermodal. They're definitely down year over year on their profits, if you'd want to say. And even though their miles are up and the volumes there of freight to haul, but the revenue's down. So there's like an 8% increase in volume, but I think, what was it off the top of my head? But the payout on that load is down, and it's definitely decreased a lot out of the West Coast, as you know, with China just starting back up here in January with getting their manufacturing going. So there's not much in the sense of freight getting shipped over here on the West Coast. And a lot of people, after that backup in 20 and 21, they started diverting over to Texas, Houston, Savannah, Georgia, New York, New Jersey, and Virginia. So they went East Coast to diversify, getting ships offloaded more rapidly. But with that said, right now I'm keeping busy with what we're doing. Steady. Is there a ton of work coming? I'm watching it week over week, and we're slowly the loads are definitely frequent every week, but as far as my time out here, though, we're seeing a little bit of what do you want to say, less volume in the trailers. So and that's to be expected for now, but definitely they're on the keeping their head on the swivel there where I'm at, looking forward, and that's what every company's got to be doing right now. Diesel prices are, from what I've been scanning, they just did a bump this Monday, like, what was it, $1.16 or something, but it's been going down since the last 13 months. So it's gone down like $2.56. But I can sit and talk about all those statistics, but overall, it leads me to another question. These young kids or individuals that are looking at something I'm doing and saying, and I should go to truck driving school, get my certifications, to get my CDL, get out there and truck. If I was someone on the outside looking in, I don't know if I would or not. I would look at the industry and see if it's a good move at this point. Some of the companies out there, now there's local companies you can get into. There's always the LTL light truckloads, but what are you looking to get out of it? What's your expectations when you get into driving, even though you're going to put yourself through school and put yourself through all that training, get your CDL. Like truckloads, you could be out for the day, just a day job, getting paid by the hour. There's a lot of companies, and I'm not going to sit here and name them all, but I've definitely looked at them. But at some point, I just said, as I get older, I really don't want to deal with the driving and all that, traffic and all that jazz, plus the policies and the chokehold of regulations and stuff. But as a new driver looking in, I think you should do your homework. I think you should look at the pros and cons of long hours, stress that you may never have endured before. Because driving truck in a controlled, in CDL school, you're driving a truck in a controlled environment. They do take you out on the road and all that, but in actuality, once you get out there, and you get with a company and you may be with a driver trainer with that company, but eventually you're going to have to face on your own so many scenarios, so many situations. And that could be anywhere from big city traffic, say Chicago. For me, here in the Midwest, say Chicago, Louisville, Cincinnati, Columbus, Ohio. But you get rush hour traffic, snowstorms, high winds, rain, and trying to get to your destination. You're going to be challenged. You're going to be under so much stress that if you're not a person to handle stress, I'm going to tell you no, don't invest in it. But you're going to be challenged with so many things, and then be personable to the receiver or the shipper, whatever you're doing. For me, it's all my clients, all the dealers I deliver to. Therefore, whatever happened between that client to that client in the driving aspect, like I broke down last week, you got to turn your hat back around, get your professional face on, and be cordial, and never put down the company or having a bad day or anything like that. So you got to be on the swivel, always checking your persona when you get out of the truck and meeting and greeting with customers. So it is a challenge. It is a stressful challenge. I've become assimilated to it, acclimated to it doesn't, a lot of stuff, until, about the only time I spout off is when I'm burned out. But that's happened a couple times in my lifetime. But for the most part, take it with a grain of salt. For me, being away from home, it doesn't bother me. I've come to understand this industry, and that's the name of the game. You could be with a company, you could be out. For me, it's just a few days. It doesn't bother me. When I had a sleeper truck over the road, then I could be gone a whole week. But there's been times when I was gone for a whole month and only home for a day and a half for my 34-hour restart, and I've been gone up to 3 months. So it just, you have to really do your homework and look at, what are you looking at? Don't look at the truck with the big shiny bling bling and the sleeper and all that. There's a price to be paid when you're out there driving those kind of trucks. Those trucks don't pay for themselves sitting in the yard or sitting still. They want those things moving. They want the wheels turning, because those trucks they're bought to make a profit. So, but I want people to understand that it's a hard industry, and it will definitely thick skin you. But I've seen a lot of, I want to say, soft individuals that are in this industry. They've made the trucks have made them very soft. Automatics, all the monitoring system in them. A lot of kids are all right with that, but I'll tell you what, when they get to the shipper or receiver, they have no clue what they're doing. Getting out in sandals, shorts, tank top, unprofessional, and then wondering why I can back in, unload my truck, and be out of there, and they're still sitting there. That's happened not with these guys, but when I was over the road hauling produce. Steel toe boots, jeans. I was there to work. When I'm behind the wheel and I'm logged in, I'm working. And a lot of these cats were just sitting there wondering, why is he getting in and out? Well, I can get in and sling that stuff off the trailer and get on to my next stop instead of waiting there. Produce haulers have been notorious for sitting for like hours and hours waiting to either get unloaded or loaded, because they'll pull the pallets, break them down, restack them, re-tier them. So it's or have to check their temperature before they pull them off the trailer to make sure they're at the right refrigerated temp. So there's a lot of variables, and that's the thing too, is going into, there's different disciplines of trucking. I started out right out of the gate. I started out shuttling semi trucks and trailers around the state of Michigan, 86, 87, 88, until I was in diesel school. Then I was working for a farm implement, and I helped shuttle tractors and other jazz around. But it wasn't until late 88. But in the trucking industry, you've got dry van, which is just your van trailer, dry box. You got then your reefer trailers to haul refrigerated. You've got your flatbeds for building materials and all kinds of stuff, where you're going to have to tarp and strap, and you're really going to be, those guys, you got to be on your A game. And even more so, removable goosenecks, which I've done, where the front of the trailer comes unhooked, and you can put excavating equipment, excavator, bulldozers, wheel loaders. And then there's the heavy haul and over-dimensional, oversized loads, where you have to have pilot cars and escorts. So there's different disciplines. Now, the more challenge it is with that trailer on you, the more pay it is. So like your heavy equipment hauling, over-dimensional loads, oversized loads, they pay better. Flatbed's going to pay better than dry van. Step decks in a flatbed is going to pay better than a straight flatbed. So, like I said, there's a lot more to be had to understand if you're looking to get in, and don't go in with a lot of high expectations. I did 35 years ago that, well, to be a truck driver, I'm going to make XYZ amount of money. And with me coming up on 2 million miles and being out in this industry, and a kid starting out this week, that job, depending on the trailer you're pulling, the product you're pulling, that job's only going to pay so much. Don't come in and expect that you're going to be making this. You're going to be, up here. Just remember, that particular job will only pay so much, and then you've maxed out. And like I said, the only way to supersede that threshold is to go into another specialty. Reefer pays a little bit more, but it's your flatbed, step decks, and your over-dimensional. That's when you start making more money. But overall, if you really want to make the serious money, then of course you got to own your own truck, become your own carrier, and get your own brokerage. And that's just, that's a whole different ball game. And you got to be really into the logistics at that point. I never entertained it. I've looked into it through the eyes of other people, and that's a stress level that when you got carriers and you got people looking for loads as a broker, it's almost like being a traffic controller at an airport. No, thank you. At my age, maybe if I was 30 years younger, yeah, I'd probably do it. But I'm past that point of no return to get involved with that. So I enjoy what I'm doing, but I definitely don't want to be doing this 15 years from now. So that's why the whole business entrepreneur onset off to the side. But I just wanted to bring this up and have a little discussion. And I'm going to talk more about trucking industry as we go forward, because I really want to watch what's going on out here as things are contracting in this downturn right now. Manufacturing has pulled back a lot. The geopolitical problems with China, people, high layoffs, people aren't doing discretionary spending, freight's not coming across the pond like it used to, and manufacturing has gone down. It's slowed down, and you say, well, there's a lot of jobs asking out there. Yes, but there has also been, without drilling any more oil, our stockpile of oil reserves have picked up, even though we're not drilling for more and we're not importing more, because we're using less in manufacturing side, because manufacturing always needs petroleum for making products. So the plastics, resin, and all that other stuff. But even so, when that's pulled back, less trucks moving products, so less trucks using diesel. So as you can see, it's all got a cascade effect. The two things that really gauge a market when you look out there is the lumber, builder sentiment, and lumber, and how lumber's moving, and trucking and logistics. Trucking, whether it's a day cab like mine or a sleeper truck, but things got to get moved for building materials, equipment. So building and lumber, that says a lot, whether it's commercial or residential in the building market. But those are the two things I would keep an eye on, is lumber and building sentiment and lumber pricing and logistics. And that'll give you a good insight of where our economy and the markets are. I'm kind of following through right now with freight waves. They're pretty well on top of things, and good information in there. So I'm going to bring more of that into light, because if things get really tight, they're saying, many more people, your job's not guaranteed. And I wonder, and I've never been through this, to see what this economy and the contractional side of it tightening up and maybe being out of work. I don't know. So I'm going to stay on top of this and be able to get these videos out quicker now that I've got a quicker process to get these videos uploaded and up to YouTube without taking a longer time on the PC doing it. So until next time, folks, self-educated entrepreneur, stay safe out there and continuing educating yourself. Keep your head on the swivel, as we're going to be going into more trying times through the second, but especially the third and fourth quarter this year.